I'm listening to a 10-hour video of Don't Think Twice from Kingdom Hearts 3 as I record this. Why? Because I'm me. Greetings all, it is the Unicorn of War, your god, not goddess. Despite which some of you may think I am indeed male. But you know what, that's beside the point. I'm still kind of in shock though, that y'all are still caught up on this. Anyway, the content. Is this mic picking me up? Oh my god, why are the sound waves so small? Bitch. Ugh, what a lovely start. It's almost as much of a shit show as RWBY. I'm tired. I'm recording this a week early because it's a lot of fun recording this shit. I decided I'm going to use the style I used for volume 1 for the other volumes because otherwise it'd just be me boringly talking for like an hour. And I'm not doing that to myself. So if you can't deal with it, I don't care. But I would appreciate you keeping this on silent in another window for that sweet, sweet AdSense, I'm just saying. Anyways, today we are covering the second core of the first season of my RWBY rewrite, a.k.a. Volume 2. This one's only 6 episodes. There are still elements from Celtic Phoenix's fixing Volume 2, like 2 or 3. But other than that, our versions have begun to completely fucking diverge. And yeah, whenever a Celtic idea pops up, I'll just throw the fixing RWBY thing up there so you know. I'll also link it in the description because he deserves the views, alright? He works hard on his shit. Anyways, let's just get into this shit with the first episode of Volume 2. So we begin with Emerald and Mercury walking around Vale, not knowing what the fuck they're doing, and they wander into Tuxin's bookshop. But right before they enter, the power gets cut off. That's not suspicious at all. Oh, it's almost as if I took into account that a futuristic modern society would have security cameras everywhere. No, I'm still not over that. Anyways, they talk, and they're menacing, and Mercury slams some books shut because he's a prick, and also illiterate. Oh, I only like the pictures. Can you read? So anyway, Emerald and Mercury then reveal, oh yeah, we're here for the White Fang. We know you've been helping dissenters escape, particularly one cat girl. Tuxin's like, oh shit. So fight ensues and Tuxin runs into the back and he like tears all his files on White Fang defectors to shreds. He tries to light them on fire, but Emerald and Mercury kill him before they can manage it. And we see a bit of Emerald's hallucination. I'm Sean Connery. We see a bit of Emerald's hallucination semblance before he's murdered horrifically. And then they just leave his body, and they just leave. Because they're wonderful people. So then we go to Beacon. And by this time, it's early July. It's between semesters. And at this time, students from the other academies are coming in to see Vale's culture and shit. So it's been like a month since the dock situation. And Team RWBY's kind of gotten their groove together. They've gotten their shit together. Weiss is a lot nicer. She's actually bringing the girls their morning drinks. And even though she's disgusted by the amount of cream and sugar RWBY likes in her coffee, she's like, whatever. Yeah. So then RWBY pops up with her stolen binder like, this is our last day to have fun. Because I wait till the last minute to do things. Like a certain YouTuber. But then the food fight ensues and Sun and Neptune are just staring in awe like this school is fucking crazy. But during the food fight, and this is a Celtic Phoenix idea because of his genius, Cinder is out and about. She's looking for Emerald and Mercury. She's not sure where the fuck those losers are. But then she notices Pyrrha using her polarity on the soda cans, and she's like, I will take note of this. So then after the food fight, Glinda's like, fuck all you children, I don't get paid enough to deal with this shit. Then Ozpin is like, let the kids be kids, and Glinda's like, you are a terrible headmaster. And then they go to greet Ironwood, and Glinda's like, I'm fucking out, I have too many dick jokes to make. And Ironwood's like, I knew I should have changed my legal name. So Ironwood is like, dude, Autumn has been attacked, Leo is being weirdly quiet, shit is not looking good, why are you against me bringing in my army? And Ozpin's like, oh, I don't know, it's not like they can all be hacked and, you know, shit. So then Team RWBY goes into the courtyard and they're hanging out with Teams Juniper and Season. Oh yeah, another Celtic idea. See, Team Sun is not Team Sun. Sun wants to think that he's the leader and that his team is named after him, but it's not. Scarlet is the leader, and it's Team Season, because, maidens and shit. And also, it makes more fucking sense, but it's going to be a running joke. Anyway, they're all chillin', and Blake isn't sure on the activities, and Weiss is like, are you okay? You've been acting a little weird. Blake Belladonna, what is wrong? But this catches the attention of Team Funky. As I said, the exchange students are all here, and I'm trying to establish them early and make them actual characters with actual arcs. Arcs. So Flint is like, oh, you a Schnee. Did you know your father's business ran my father's business into the fucking ground? You rich ass hoe. And Weiss is like, I'm sorry. Because she's on her path to realizing that her family sucks. Well, she already knew that, but now she's on the path to accepting it. And she's a lot nicer and a lot more self-deprecative because, oh god. And everyone else defends her, and Team Funky is like, we fucking out. Oh, also, we completed Team Funky. The additional members are, shut up, phone. The additional members are a Narwhal Faunus girl. Does she have a horn? Probably not, but her weapon will likely be one. And then Neon has an older brother based on Tac Neon. Or whatever that anti-Neon cat was named, I forget. And he's named 8 Cat, because, 8 balls. He's really depressing. He sucks the color out of fucking everything. Foreshadowing. So then they go to the library, and they play a card game as Team Juniper studies. Team Juniper wants to enjoy, but Pyrrha's like, bitch, we need to study. And Jean's like, fine. Blake is disengaged from this. And then she's also disengaged when they go fishing in Vale. Weiss does try to break the ice a little bit, like with asking about if Blake really does enjoy fish because she's a faunus, or if she just enjoys fish in general, and also what it's like having 4 ears. And Blake's like, if you could not do that, that would be great. And as she's doing this, Blake flashes back to that interrogation the night at the docks with Ozpin, and it's basically the same as it was in the original, with Blake not telling Ozpin anything. Now Blake is unsure if she's done the right thing. And then she gets the sudden urge to go visit Tuxin or some crap for some reason, because she hasn't seen him in a while. And they go into the bookshop, and they're all chipper and ready to meet their friend, and oh shit, there's a dead body. Blake runs out, and she nearly throws up in shock. And she just leaves, she rushes back to Beacon, and the others are like, we need to get the authorities. Once this happens, we transition to the villain's hideout, where Roman and Neo are helping the White Fang prep for their trip to Mountain Glen, with all the stolen dust and paladins. Emerald and Mercury arrive, and Roman's like, weren't you two supposed to meet Cinder at the school? She's been texting me angrily about where you all are. And Emerald and Mercury are like, wouldn't you like to know? And Roman's like, yes, I would. Yes, I would. I would like to know. I could be burned to fucking death. Cinder pops up, and she's like, yo, hoes, I need you for my plan later. I can't have you recklessly doing shit and then getting arrested. You idiots. And then she turns to Roman, and she's like, I thought Adam made it clear, and that I made it clear, that this traitor was to be eliminated. Why have you not been doing it? And Roman's like, oh, I don't know, it surely hasn't been to do with the fact I've been robbing dust shops every fucking night. Cinder Loki threatens his life, and then she's like, okay, you're doing well with all this stuff, but we need to talk about those kids again, the plot-relevant ones. She has tabs on Penny, but she's not really concerned about Penny in this moment. She goes to Roman. I don't care what you do with the heiress and the bimbo, but the Faunus girl, leave her alive because Adam wanted her alive to do freaky shit to her. I don't care what he wants. And the silver-eyed one. Leave the silver-eyed one alive. And Roman's like, fine. And then Cinder leaves, and she's like, phase 2 is begun. By the way, we're gonna need more hands, so after everything is situated in Mountain Glen, we're gonna need you to come back and recruit more faunus into the White Fang. And Roman's like, ugh. So then back at Beacon, Blake is alone in the dorm, and she's like still in shock over everything that's happened. She actually is reading a copy of Third Crusade, which Emerald mentioned in the bookshop, and it's actually a book by Sienna Khan about her, like, very violent manifesto. And Blake's like, how the fuck did I ever believe this crap? So then the rest of the team arrives, and they're like, okay, the police are taking care of Tuxin. Are you okay? And Blake's like, no, I'm not okay. The White Fang is clearly ramping up. We've just been ignoring them the last month. We should have told the authorities or someone about them. And she gets specifically paranoid because she's worried that the White Fang has found her, specifically, because the lieutenant recognized her. And she's like, it's only a matter of time before the White Fang pops up and murders me and murders all of you. And Team RWBY's like, we ain't gonna let that fucking happen. But because we don't want to sully the name of the White Fang any further, we're going to stop them before any publicity gets out about them. We're not getting the authorities or any crap. They can't handle this anyway, because we're the main characters. We can do everything. So then they decide to hatch a plan, as it was. And then Ruby's like, oh shit, I forgot my board game in the library. And Weiss is like, we're all gonna fucking die. But Team RWBY has a goal, to stop the White Fang. Yes. But as Ruby runs out, she runs into Simrald. I have a new ship name. Sounds like something simmering. Oh, that sounded... Oh, God, no. She runs into Cinder, Emerald, and Mercury, who are posing as Haven Academy students, and they're, like, very shady, and the rest of Team RWBY, especially Blake, is very suspicious of them. But Ruby's like, oh no, they're cool! Like, look at them. They don't look evil, right? And Cinder's like, oh, silver eyes. We'll keep in touch. And she just dramatically walks away. And that's the first episode. And then the intro, time to say fucking goodbye. It's the best intro. And now I am listening to Anna Pansu's cover of Ready As I'll Ever Be as I record this, because her voice is fabulous and this song is amazing. Tangled the animated series is so much better than it fucking deserves to be. Anyway, so this is a fusion of a minor hiccup in painting the town. Team RWBY finally has a fucking goal, and they're like, we're gonna stop the White Fang, we're gonna get the lowdown on those scum. But then Team Sun shows up, and they're like, we gonna help. And Team RWBY's like, fine. So RWBY, Weiss, and Neptune go to the CCT tower to get all the Schnee documents and crap. But RWBY spots Penny, and it's like, I'm gonna go apprehend that totally not robot girl, BRB. So Weiss goes to talk to her family, and she's like really sad because she's finally realizing how awful her family is and how many lives they've fucking ruined. But she gets the documents, and then she and Neptune go over them, and they find that whereas the White Fang was simply destroying a lot of Veil orders and deliveries from the Schnee Dust Company, in the recent months they have been just collecting all this dust, all these weapons, all these military weapons, and they're like, oh shit. RWBY goes after Penny into Veil, and they talk, and beep bop boop bop boop doo 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 plot twist. I don't know what that was, but okay. Possibly racist to robots, but whatever. Penny is a robot. Who would have guessed? But then Ciel rocks up, and she's like, you are coming with me, RWBY, you know too much. So RWBY and Penny try to bail, but they can't fucking hide for shit. Because RWBY hides with the trash, and everyone knows she's already trash, so it's not really much of a hiding idea. But then Penny convinces them to all get tea, and Ciel's like, yeah, I'm Penny's designated guardian. You can't tell no one about this shit, or we will come for you and end you in the night. And RWBY's like, can I tell my teammates? And Ciel's like, fine, I guess, but just them. Not those Juniper weirdos. They're weird. Yang goes with Scarlet and Sage to the Three Bears nightclub, and we get some information from Junior about Roman and the White Fang, and Yang learns Adam Taurus' name and that he's a psychopathic genocidal lunatic, and she's like, this must be the guy Blake was talking about. Blake and Sun go to the White Fang rally in Roman's hideout, and they learn that the White Fang is doing something in Mountain Glen. Of course, neither of them know what Mountain Glen is, but you know. So when they need to slip away, they go to Neo's bedroom, and they find some medicine, and they're like, oh, that child must have a deathly illness. And Neo's like, again, she's mute, alright? But she kicks their asses and is like, you are about to be more dead than I am. Silently, of course, because she's mute. We're not erasing the mute. So a fight ensues, and they escape, and Roman's like, you ain't getting away, and hops into the Paladin and gives chase. Everyone converges on the highway, The police are kind of late because the police exist in my universe, but they suck in Vale, so you know. Team Season's auras all break, so that explains why they just fucked off in the fight. But CL and Penny, mainly thanks to Penny's, like, begging, show up and they're like, the Paladin's weakness, it's defective, you need to... I don't know the specifics, I haven't fully written the script yet. So anyway, they fuck up the Paladin, and it's cool. But then Neo and Roman escape, and Team RWBY's fully aware of Penny's true identity, and they're like, yeah, we'll keep it a secret, and CL's like, you best fucking do, or I will end you in the night, and Penny's like, you have to stop threatening our friends. So Team RWBY confronts Team Season at the Simple Walk restaurant, and they're like, what the fuck, guys, you left us, and they're like, our aura's broke, and they're like, wow, you really are Team Hot and Useless. But Sun's like, but you find us hot, and Yang's like, ugh. Penny and CL return to General Ironwood, and he's like, where the fuck have you hoes been? And CL takes the fall because she's learning what friendship truly is, and Ironwood lets them off the hook so long as they stay at Beacon at all times, and Penny's like, yay! And CL's like, don't fucking touch me. But Cinder is notified by Roman that the kids showed up, including the laser sword girl, but Roman got a look at Penny's fucked up hands that revealed her metallic nature, and Cinder's like, oh... this is interesting. Yes, specifically like that, okay? We're trying to give her a goddamn personality. And then the next episode, which is basically all the dance episodes in one. So we begin like an extracurricular with Pyrrha fucking up Team Cardinal single-handed because she's amazing, and then Mercury's like, I want to fight that hoe. The intro, they fight. Cinder already had the feeling of what Pyrrha's semblance is, but she wanted Mercury to test it out. Mercury confirms Pyrrha's semblance's polarity, and then he calls off the match, and then they leave and shit. Team RWBY's like, Blake, you need to sleep. The last, like, month, you haven't even... like, been relaxing. And Blake's like, how can I fucking relax when the White Fang is clearly trying to kill us all? And RWBY and Yang are like, we know they're in Mountain Glen. That's not a good thing, because Mountain Glen is basically, a huge tomb of dead people. They know because they're native to Vale, and it's horrifying to them. But Blake is like, fuck all of you, fuck your dance, I'm out. Then we have all the romantic bullshit with, like, Pyrrha wanting to ask out John, but John wants to ask out Weiss, but Weiss wants to ask out Neptune, but Neptune wants to ask out Sun. What did I say? Sea monkeys? Cinder's like, my friend from the north gave us a little bug to get into the CCTS, so you losers just need to cover me tonight at the dance. Well, not tonight, because I made a timeline, but you know what I fucking mean. So then a couple weeks pass, and Team RWBY is setting up the dance hall, and they're super excited, but they've made a truce to neither have doilies nor fog machines, because neither were in the animation team's budget. We might have them this time around, I don't know. Because doilies are kind of stupid, honestly. Fog machines are cool, but not doilies. Never doilies. Weiss is going to be singing at the event, but everyone is still stressed that Blake isn't going, and Yang's like, I got this. Team Funky is also helping out with the music, and they're being dicks to Weiss, but Weiss is like, we're gonna get through this. We're gonna write a song for my two friends who are totally not gay. Oh, also, Dream Come True is playing as they set up the hall, because why not? So then we have our talking scenes where Pyrrha is to Jean, you have to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I'm going to be shot, not in a theater, but on a rooftop, so I guess it's fitting that I'm Abraham fucking Lincoln. And Yang is like, girl, I was also obsessed with finding my mom, but I won't let that search control me. You cannot let this control you. And Blake's like, but, and Yang's like, I am not letting Adam anywhere near you. And Blake's like, you know his name. And they hug, and they're totally not gay. And Yang asks Blake for a dance at the dance. So they dance. It's a dance. I'm tired. Then it's the night of the dance, and everyone's getting ready. Hearts are being broken. We go to the dance, and Weiss is all sad and alone in the corner, and John's like, my poor girl who is not mine, because women are strong and independent creatures, and Weiss could slaughter me in 2 seconds if you wanted. And so he's like, Neptune, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you not dancing with Weiss? And Neptune's like, I'm totally not bi, what? So it turns out, because Neptune actually has a character, and we actually have legit LGBT representation in this version. Neptune is bi, but he's been struggling with that. It is majorly accepted in Remnant. It's just very awkward when you're still figuring it out. And Neptune has had a thing for Sun, because Sun never wears a fucking proper shirt, but he doesn't want it to ruin their friendship. And he doesn't want to make it any weirder since Sage and Scarlet are already a couple. Oh yeah, they're also a couple. I know, it's like gay people actually exist. Gays travel in packs, alright, children? We travel in packs. Best you learn now. So Jean encourages Neptune to try and get over it. That's actually why he's flirting with a lot of girls, to try and get himself over this. And he's like, you know, Weiss deserves an honest shot. And Neptune's like, okay, yeah, she seems cool. Cool. Pyrrha and Jean have their talk about the pedestal stuff, and then the Juniper dance happens. Oh, also, we had a major Blake and Yang dance, as Weiss sang Bumblebee. That's fucking right. We gave it its own moment. But then as the dance is going on, Cinder's like, bitch, I'm out, I'm too good for this, I'm gonna go hack into your internet, because y'all have the most basic-ass Wi-Fi password I've ever fucking seen in my life. But her mission outfit actually has, like, a total face mask of obsidian glass that she can create in an instant and then remove when she needs to see, like, fully. Kinda like the Vanitas mask in Birth by Sleep. RWBY goes after this bitch and she notifies the others, and there's this huge fight in the tower as Cinder's trying to escape, and she has brief encounters with all the actual characters, but, like, she outclasses them easily. Ironwood shows up and gives her an actual proper fight, and this is what forces Cinder to flee. But before she gets away, RWBY does see a crack in her mask, and she sees Cinder's glowing left eye. Foreshadowing. And General Ironwood's like, Ozpin, we need to have a fucking word. While Cinder's just enjoying herself at the dance like a hoe. So Oz and the crew talk to RWBY and they're like, we think this hoe is the same hoe that we saw the night we met you, bitch. And RWBY's like, no fucking shit. So then they're like, would you like to go to Mountain Glen to stop them? Because RWBY spilled the beans. And she's like, yeah, sure. Why not? Ironwood and Glinda are like, dude, what the fuck? They're like 5. And Oz is like, we were gonna do it to them eventually. Like, might as well see if they're worth it. We have a few backups in case they die. Ironwood is like, dude, Jesus Christ. And Glinda's like, is this to do with the silver eyes? And Oz is like, bitch, what the fuck you think? So Zwei gets shipped in because Zwei has this magical semblance of being able to survive without oxygen for extended periods of time like a cockroach. He can probably also survive a nuclear war because he's Zwei. He'd probably cause the nuclear war, let's be real. Anyways, a few days pass and we get the field missions for the end of the 3rd quarter. Oz has a speech about the Great War and shit. And then he approaches Team RWBY like, you hoes are on a special mission to stop Roman. Well, not really stop Roman, you're just really going in to gather the information, stop him if you can, but most likely you're just returning to give us the information before we figure out what the fuck next to do. And the girls are like, okay, that seems legit. Cinder, Emerald, and Mercury take note of this, and they're like, we should tell Roman. Oobleck, Professor Oobleck, mind you, takes them to Mountain Glen. Oh yeah, before we actually leave though, Team Coffee returns. They've been at the Vacuo border dealing with a lot of fucking Grim the whole volume, and they have been royally fucked up. Anyways, we get to Mountain Glen, and Oobleck is like, girls, why the fuck do you want to be huntresses? And he's not really satisfied with any of their answers. He's like, you are all stupid. Oobleck and RWBY go to look at the demon elephants, and they're cool, but one of the demon elephants kind of like flips them off with its trunk. And that night, they set up a campfire, and they talk about their motivations. Weiss actually talks about her grandfather, and how her father is abusive douchebag, and her mom's an alcoholic, and her little brother is a fucking demon. Blake talks about her parents and reveals she's actually the daughter of Gira and Kali, the former leaders of the White Fang. And Yang is like, I don't even know my mom's name, but I thought being a huntress would help me find her. I'm not really doing this to help the people like RWBY is, because I'm a shit human being. So they fall asleep, and while this is all going on, Glinda and Ironwood are talking. And Ironwood's like, dude, your boss is sending everyone to die. Are you sure we can trust him? And Glinda's like, we don't really have much of another choice. He's like, The pay here is good, alright? The benefits are really great. Don't fuck this up. RWBY wanders with Zwei and uncovers the White Fang hideout, but then she's captured because she's stupid. The others notice and they're like, we must stop this underground crime network. Underground twice. Oh, the old abandoned amusement park? Old abandoned twice. Extra points if you get that reference. So Roman mentions that RWBY has thankfully delivered herself right to him, and that his employer will be happy to see her. That's when the other girls show up and they're like, we will fuck you up. And Roman's like, no, everyone get on the fucking train. You too, Perry. Oh my god, there's so much Phineas and Ferb in this episode. I never expected this. And they realize Roman's plan involves this fucking train somehow, and they're like, we're gonna fucking stop that train. Choo-choo, motherfucker! So this episode is a fusion of the original No Brakes and Breach. You will see why later. We get all the train car fights with the White Fang and the Paladins. Yang gets fucked up by Neo and Raven comes to the rescue and then skedaddles because she sucks. Oh, also, forgot to mention, during the previous episode, Yang kept seeing the red-eyed Raven. I assure you, it's just a coincidence. Weiss battled the White Fang lieutenant. She got fucked up. Blake battled Roman, but Blake reveals that she knows what is going on with Neo, and she's like, dude, you don't need to do this. And Roman's like, yes, I do, okay? I have legit motivations, alright? She knocks Roman the fuck out, but then Jason, the White Fang lieutenant, storms in. Blake hides with Weiss because they're both exhausted, and Blake is trying to make sure they don't die. And during this, Jason taunts Blake with saying how Adam knows where she is and he's going to be visiting soon. And Blake is forced to murder the shit out of the lieutenant to save Weiss, and this will eat away at her psyche. Yeah. So the train bashes into Vale and all the Grim invade. It is more brutal than the original. This section of Vale is quite fucked up and it's going to be sealed off for quite a while by the military, which is really pissing off the people who lived here or had businesses here. But once that's done, everyone is like, that seemed a little too easy. Something is not right. The Vale Council yells at Ozpin like, you're a fucking idiot. Ironwood is now in charge of all security details at the Vital Festival, you trick-ass bitch. And Ironwood's like, yes! I mean, oh, I'm so sorry, Ozpin. Roman is in custody, but he ain't talking for shit. But during the conversation with the council, Cinder and the others were able to eavesdrop on all of it, and they're like, that attack was early, it was meant to happen during the tournament, but you know what? We can roll with this, because the people are still terrified, there's still distrust in the air, and now the people who would oppose us are not going to be in our way anymore. Things are looking up. And then the last episode, which is a totally original plot, actually. Everyone's on a little bit of a break before the fourth quarter when the Vital Festival starts. So Team RWBY goes to Patch to hang out at Ruby and Yang's house, while Team Juniper goes to hang out with Jean's family. It's all cute, but there's always this underlying sense of tension, like something just is not right. Especially when Yang tries to ask her father about her mother, and Ty gets very aggressive and defensive and shit. And we finally get her name, though. Raven. Raven Bronwyn. So then that night, Yang follows the red-eyed Raven out into the forest, and she actually wanders across the old building we saw in the flashback of burning the candle. It turns out it was some sort of training facility Team Stark used, and that they hung out at all the time. And Raven is like, girl, we need to talk. What did they talk about? I can't tell you until the Volume 3 flipped the script, but I can tell you it's still fucking canon. Meanwhile, Cinder, Emerald, Mercury, and Neo meet with Adam in Foreverfall, and they're like, yeah, we lost a lot of our men and supplies and shit, and also your lieutenant is dead. And Adam's like, oh, no worries, it's all just a necessary sacrifice. Cinder is like, ooh, I get you, but the others are like horrified. And Adam reveals he actually got more supplies and White Fang members as he was going about Vale, and he's basically killed all the huntsmen and huntresses in the region. Not good. And Cinder cryptically goes, fall is coming. Gee, I wonder what she could be talking about. So that's it. That's the end of the Volume 2 Flip the Script. Wow, it's actually shorter than Volume 1. Then again, it was less episodes, whatever. Next time, we're going to be covering the Volume 3, Flip the Script. I hope you all enjoyed it. At this time of recording, I've managed to finish the first 3 episode scripts of Volume 2. The links to all of them will be in the description below. I hope you enjoy. I'm fucking tired, okay? I'm tired. Anyway, I'm the Unicorn of War. This has been a shit show, and I need food.